Israel has begun deporting crew members of a Gaza-bound aid boat a day after it was seized by Israeli forces. 4 of the 12 passengers on board the Madleen agreed to immediate repatriation, including Swedish activist Greta Thunberg. She was put on a flight to France before continuing to Sweden. 8 other crew members have refused deportation. The British-flagged yacht set sail from Italy on the 1st of June, hoping to break through Israel's long-standing naval blockade and deliver aid to Gaza. But the vessel was intercepted by Israeli forces on the coast of Egypt, just 185 kilometers shy of their destination. Humanitarian relief into Gaza has been scarce, even after Israel partially lifted a blockade last month. In central Gaza, at least 17 people were killed after Israeli gunfire near an aid center run by the US-backed Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, or GHF. Israel says the warning shots were fired towards suspects who, quote, posed a threat to the troops. And more, Trent Murray joins us live from Tel Aviv. Trent, 8 members of that ship bound for Gaza have refused deportation. What will happen to them?
That's right, Wei Su. The Interior Ministry here putting out a statement saying that a number of those that arrived on the Madleen have indeed refused to sign the deportation notices that are required in order to exit the country. Here says that Israel will not permit harm to its sovereignty by way of provocative protest flotillas at its borders. We understand now those 8 people are in detention here awaiting a session in front of a judge who will then be given the judicial authority to potentially deport them by force. We know of that 8, 6 of them are French citizens, including a member of the European Union Parliament. The French government, we understand, has sent its consular officials from the French embassy to try and deal and negotiate with the Israeli authorities on behalf of some of their citizens. But we are being told that the timeline of all of this is later this week. That is when they will are expected, I should say, to front that immigration tribunal in front of a judge who then maybe will be able to stamp the deportation order. It comes, as you said, 4 did sign the deportation notices, including Greta Thunberg. She was seen boarding a El Al flight to Paris, where she's expected to make a brief stopover in the coming hours before returning to her homeland of Sweden. It does bring to an end in many ways what has been a major focus of attention here as this flotilla made its way to Gaza. The Israeli authorities had been saying that it would intercept them. We have now seen that they did that, but we have also seen the Foreign Ministry take the real lead in all of this in terms of the communications. We understand there was genuine concern here in Israel that if the IDF was too heavy-handed in its arrest and those pictures went out through the world, it would cause a major diplomatic incident for the country. Seemingly, the Foreign Ministry stepping in here in order to try and stage manage all of this and avoid any sort of major confrontation.
Trent, reports suggest that ship bound for Gaza had some baby formula on board, but not a great deal of aid. It was more a mission to convey a message. Now, actual aid in Gaza, at least 17 people killed in the latest incident, but we're looking at more than 100 people killed near aid sites since the GHF program started 2 weeks ago, apart from shutting to renovate and regroup and reopening shortly after. Any action taken to help this only source of aid right now for Palestinians in Gaza?
Yeah, Wei Su, the Israelis are saying that that little amount of aid that was on the Madleen is going to be sent to Gaza, but the lion's share of this operation, of course, is being done now by the GHF, this American-backed group. We are still actually awaiting their daily statement. It normally comes around this time in the mid-afternoon here in Israel. But the latest statement we have is that they did have to close one of their aid distribution centres. They had 3 operating. One of them needed to close. They described the reason for that closure was chaos of the crowds. They have also, though, criticised Hamas, saying that they are putting explicit threats towards those aid workers on the ground. They're trying to deliver that aid. And there is now also a new and more complex aspect to all of this, which is local militia groups on the ground in Gaza opposed to Hamas reportedly being handed weapons by the Israelis. Well, they are now taking it upon themselves to try and guard some of these aid distribution points. And there are reports from the GHF side that it is now, in fact, some of them which are opening fire on these crowds. So an increasingly complex picture down there. It's very hard to verify a lot of this, but we do know that that criticism does continue to mount from the UN, that the GHF needs to do a lot more than what it's doing in order to deliver this aid effectively to people that need it. Wei Su.
Oh, thanks. Trent Murray, they're reporting live from Tel Aviv.